I'd like to invite the program coordinator of a GRM program, Professor Naito, a professor of Global Studies at Graduate School. He is going to discuss forest global resource management and the development of global leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for having gathered in this symposium. Global resource management program is what I lead as the coordinator, and I am a professor at the Graduate School of Global Studies of Doshisha University. GRM stands for Global Resource Management. And I have been looking up at internet if there is any other abbreviation for GRM, Global Ground Based radar management. It seems to be rather dangerous, and missile is not the right word, of course, but something which goes beyond national boundaries. And what we would like to train is there are people who are able to contribute around the world, going beyond the national boundaries. And now, why have we decided to organize and initiate such a program? The prevention of conflicts or peace building and governance in developing countries and human security have been the major areas we pursue in our graduate school program. After the end of the Cold War, the world has been faced with a lot of ethnic conflicts, religious conflicts, and also the clash between different civilizations, as someone called in the past. In the 1990s, Professor Huntington wrote a book entitled The Clash of Civilizations, which set up a sensation around the world. But there is a question. Civilizations and cultures and histories, they differ, but is that a cause of confrontation? If we accept that logic, then there's nothing we can do as a professor and researcher of social sciences. However, if you look at the reality in the areas of conflict and confrontation, we can notice that, for instance, economic disparity, which is one of the important foundation of human life, and also electricity, water, and the road and information and communication systems. All of those infrastructure elements are unevenly distributed or developed in a very uneven manner, and those have provoked the anger of people, and in certain escalations they developed into conflicts. And that seems to be the background for most conflicts. Christians and Muslims, if they begin to kill each other without any cause, one of them would have been exterminated. And Sunnis and Shiites, which accounts for only 10% of the population, would have been gone out of the existence. However, they have learned to live together over many years. But since the latter half of the 20th century, when the world has become fragmented into nation states, and also within one country, people have begun to live in separate areas with the demarcation lines drawn between different ethnic groups and different religious beliefs. That seems to be the background to a lot of conflicts and confrontation. The students and researchers of social sciences in graduate school usually do not know how power is produced, how roads are constructed, and how water resources are managed and distributed among people. This is not the kind of studies we pursue in social studies program, and this is not an issue limited to Japan, but in universities around the world, those who study in humanities and social sciences, except for a very wide course of general knowledge and education, they do not learn the science and engineering in many universities once they enter a graduate school. And also, there is the opposite side. Science and engineering majors, they do not usually know very much about what are the causes of conflicts and what are the major trends around the world. And when I discuss my colleagues in the Graduate School of Science and Engineering of Doshisha University, such very basic infrastructure science such as road, water, and transportation, and that area needs to be combined with the programs where we study the social sciences, such as governance and conflict resolution. And we have tried to consider what is the best program to merge these two areas. And this program we initiated was approved by Max in fall last year, and I made the presentation at the time of the examination and the committee meeting. And then the president of our university was given one question from the chairman of the committee. How does this program relate with the founding spirit of Doshisha University? And our president, Professor Hatta, answered in the most appropriate way. And our mission is not to train a leader of any political state or system. And indeed, when you look at the most troubled country or region, we believe that it is very important the students of this program are able to be and work together with the citizens of the most troubled region in the country, and then they contribute to the development of a harmonious coexistence, different religions and ethnic groups in that society, and also feed the experience back to Doshisha University. Now, the population of Japan is aging very rapidly, so it is not so easy for the young people to compete with each other in a friendly manner. And so, one good thing out of this program is to let our students go to a country for a field work or for self-learning and be inspired by the young people and also by the citizens in the host community. And then they can bring their lessons and experience back to Doshisha University. It is unfortunate that in January this year, the natural gas plant was attacked by terrorists, and they killed Japanese workers who belong to Nikkei Corporation, which had a long-standing experience in working in the Middle East country. And I felt from that incident that perhaps it is not enough for us to leave the security of the workers abroad to a company alone. Often the case, the natural and the engineering science measures are employed by multinational company like Nikkei, and they often work in other countries. And for them to work safely and successfully in such troubled country and region, it is very important that within the graduate school or in the graduate school education, they need to have a literacy regarding how they should behave based upon the solid knowledge of the social situation and governance in such troubled region in the country. As I mentioned, the students of this program are going to go abroad for fieldwork and seminars, and our founding father, Nishima, violated the state prohibition of going abroad. But as that case shows, our students are going to go abroad and also will learn firsthand what they are going to do to be and to work with the people in the host community. Of course, we will not send a student to a area which is in the midst of conflict, but it is really important for them to fully understand how they can maintain their safety and security in such a region. Later, we are going to hear from a gentleman from the Ministry of Affairs regarding the safety and the security. Of course, it is very important that the students of the program will achieve the expected outcome out of their study, but at the same time, it is so important for them to have a good security of their own safety. It's about time for me to end this introduction, but I sincerely hope that you will continue to give us your heartfelt support. Thank you very much.